And like I said, you do need to be doing this in a well ventilated area. So I'm just going to tip in. I'm going to get the whisk out first. And tip in the melted oils. Fabulous. So that takes some of the intensity off it, but you do still need to, like I've got my door open and my window open, so you do still need that level of ventilation. Just the caustic soda reaction is still happening. And I will now be stirring this for about 40 minutes. So I may pause you because I'm not sure that this is that entertaining really for 40 minutes. Just give it a few more stirs. And say that then once it's done like that, you can add the fragrances. So if you want to put essential oils in, it's a good time to go through your, like I've got a little stash of essential oils that's always hanging about in my bathroom, so it's a good time to be having a rummage through, see which ones are full, which ones are empty and you need to throw away. And for this batch, I think I'm probably going to use lemongrass and tea tree, because they're very nice cleansing, kind of antibacterial, antiviral oils. But you can use anything really that you like the scent of. And some people also put in fresh herbs or rose petals or flower petals that you might have around. You can put in anything really that's going to fragrance it nicely. So, well, I'm pleased about this because this has felt like a very, very clunky video. It's my kind of first attempt at doing one of these instructional videos. It isn't just me clowning about really in front of the camera. So I will just keep stirring and I'll come back to you shortly. So stirring away, I've done about 15 minutes of stirring, and still this is possibly the most laborious bit. So still stirring, and you can see, I won't move the camera because I don't want to move this, but you can see it's sort of changing, it's feeling a bit thicker, a bit like, I don't know what really, I can't think, it's not like custard, but it's kind of, you can feel a reaction happening and it becoming slightly more kind of melded together, the oils and the soda. So keep stirring, keep going, got about another 25 minutes to go. So here I am still stirring. It feels a bit interminable at this point. You kind of think, oh my god, how much longer am I going to have to carry on doing this? But it is changing. It's kind of got a, oh god, I really I should be able to think of an image. It's kind of like very very watery porridge, or really, really thick soapy water. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? That sounds gorgeous. But you can see there's a sort of change in texture of it, and hopefully it's all melding together. So I'll carry on for another 20 minutes. Okay, so it's still stirring, about 15 more minutes to go, but it's starting to now look like kind of thick, well, thickish custard. Not that thick really, but more like custard and water. So it is working. It is working. It's very difficult doing this on your own, really. You need a camera crew to do this. But it is working, so I'm carrying on. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find a way to show you the texture. So here it is, and I've been stirring for about 30 minutes now. It's like an eternity, but it is going like a kind of thick soapy custard sort of texture, which is what you want. So we'll keep going. We've got about another 10 minutes to go, and then it will be ready to flavour it, perfume it. Okay, so that is 40 minutes of stirring, and I'm completely exhausted, so I'm going to have a little bit of a rest and then come back and do the fragrancing. Okay, so I've just about recovered from all that 40 minutes of stirring, which I was going to nearly kill me. I've had a little bit of chocolate cup of tea. Carry on. So now we're onto the fragrancing part of it. And I want to make two different fragrant soaps from this batch. So we'll have to put the gloves on again. And basically separate it out, and then I'll put the oils in separately. So here we go, stir, stir, stir. Oh yeah, and it really is, the texture is really changed now. It feels much thicker, a bit like wallpaper paste. And you can feel heat coming off it because the chemical reaction is still happening. So that there's actually heat coming off it as I'm stirring it. Okay, so then I'm going to transfer roughly half of it. I mean, it doesn't need to be precise because it's only for my own preferences for fragrance now. So, well, you can see the texture of it a bit there now. There we go. So I've got half in the bowl, half still in the bucket. And then into this, I'm just going to add the essential oils to fragrance it. So the ones that you can choose any that you like. It's just purely for perfume purposes. Just experiment with what you think goes nicely together. So in this first one, I'm going to put a few drops of clary sage. About 12. I mean, again, this is not the exact science part of it. It's just however strongly perfumed you do or don't want it. I'm going to put a similar amount of rose geranium. It'll come out. Oh yeah, that's smelling nice. And a few drops of lavender. And the other one, I'm going to do tea tree and lemongrass. Again, like about a dozen drops of each, depending on how strong you want it or not. Oh, that's really nice. And whisking, stirring that in, and you'll start to get the perfume even as you're doing it. because it's still quite warm at the moment, so it's giving off the scents really nicely. Okay, and now it's time to get them into the containers. So simply ladling it in just like you would cake mixture. And as you can see, I'm just using takeaway containers that work really well for this. I am ready to ladle it into the moulds. I'm going to put the gloves on again, even though it's at this point it's not as caustic as it was when we were just doing the caustic soda and the water, but it's still there's still some of that causticity in it. So I will put the gloves back on. So yeah, all it is to give it another stir. Make sure the oils are evenly stirred in. And then just to ladle it out into the containers. There we go. I said ladle, obviously I meant in this case pour. So there we are. There they are. I have to say, it's been much more technically challenging than I thought making this video. I'm not entirely sure I've given you the best instructions. I'll have a look at it later and see what I think. But that is homemade soap ready to go. And what these need to do is this is very important, this bit, these need to rest for 6 weeks. It has to be 6 weeks so that the oils and the caustic soda react with each other, and it takes the causticity, the harshness out of the caustic soda. If you used it before then, it would really hurt your skin. It may cause yourself burns. So don't do that. So these need to go in a quiet cupboard, somewhere not too hot, not too drafty. I usually put them in a drawer. Some people say wrap them in a towel or a blanket. But really, they just need to be somewhere sort of not too hot, not too cold. Rest for 6 weeks, and then you chop them up, and you've got soap. And here's some I made earlier. And I've shared it with other people. People really like it. It is very nice, you know, simple but nourishing oils, nice for your skin, and you know, it does the job. So I hope you enjoyed this. I have learnt a lot about this instructional video malarkey, and maybe next time I'll be technically a little bit more slick. You never know. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.